Are you a hopeful bride or are you a hopeful groom? Do you think there are things stopping you from getting married? Maybe things that you are not aware of. Maybe the questions I'll ask you today about yourself will be of help. My name is Sandra Ezeji Anyaele. I am your marriage foundation coach. I want to say welcome to my new subscribers. I want to tell my returning subscribers, thank you for their love and for their support. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 10 important questions you need to ask yourself if you are a hopeful bride or a hopeful groom. The first question on my list is, if you are asked to marry you, will you marry you? Are you laughing or you're smiling? Okay, you're smiling. But you can agree with me that this is a pertinent question. As much as we want to get married, as much as we want to get a suitor, as much as we are ready for marriage and we are looking forward to getting married, there are still things that we need to ask ourselves. If you are asked to marry you, will you marry you? Now, let me rephrase it. Are there some characters that you are exhibiting and people are complaining about the characters? Are there some things that you do and people, maybe your colleagues, your friends, even your siblings, frown at? Remember, these questions are for both genders. I am not channeling these questions to only the female folk. Are there things that you are doing, maybe behind the scene? Maybe there are some things that you are doing secretly and you think nobody is watching, nobody is seeing you, and you think you can get away with it? Sweethearts, if there are things that you are doing and you feel those things are not good to you, just know that those things will not be good to your perspective. That is just the truth. So remember the first question that I asked. Check yourself. If there are things that you need to change, you better change those things. Because the way you are praying to God to give you a good suitor, that is also the way the other person is praying that he or she gets a good person to marry. That is just the truth. So that prayer is not for you alone. That prayer is for you and also for the person that wants to get married to you. The next question we want to ask ourselves is, do I know the difference between a man and a woman? Yes, when we are talking about difference between a man and a woman, we are not talking about their reproductive organs. Because from their reproductive organs, you say at a glance that this is a man and this is a woman. That is not what we are talking about. Men are wired differently, and women are also wired differently. So if you use the characteristics or the way women are wired to judge your man, you will be making a big mistake. And as a man, if you are using the way you are wired to judge a woman, you are also making a big mistake. So what do, you might ask? What you need to do is to read, attend seminars. Yes, look for counselors. Because people think that it's only when you are about to, maybe you have seen the person you want to get married to, that you will seek the services of a counselor. No, that is not true. If you are a hopeful bride or a hopeful groom, this is the time for you to, get the information that you need to be successful in that your marriage. Yes, that is just the truth. Information is power. Learn about the difference between a man and a woman. Most times, the problem we have in marriages is because of these differences, because they are not informed, because people don't know that there is a difference between a man and a woman, because they don't know that women are wired differently and men are also wired. They are not the same. Let me just give you an example. Do you know that a man's first love is work, while a woman's first love is family? Do you know that? Then, do you also know that a man is logical? Do you know that? Why a woman is emotional? Do you also know that? These are things that people don't talk about. These are things that people don't even know. So I ask you again, do you know the difference between a man and a woman? Because by the time you know these differences, there are things you see in your marriage. You will not know that, it's because he is wired so, or it's because she is wired. That is just the truth. So, lack of information is killing marriages. Now, it takes us to the third question. The third question is, am I a promotion or I am a demotion? I know you will still laugh and you might be wondering, are we talking about office work? Are we talking about like a job description or something? No, that is not what we are talking about. We are still talking about marriage. Yes. Ask yourself, am I a promotion or a demotion? Let me explain. You need to find out if you are ready to move the person you want to get married to the next level. You need to ask yourself, am I willing to support, to do all it takes to move the person I want to get married to the next level? This involves being sacrificial enough to forgo some of the things that you like so that the other person will succeed. Do you understand that? Are you willing to make the sacrifice needed for your marriage to work? because marriage will really test your patience. Yes, are you patient enough to allow your partner to grow? Maybe you are up there and the person you are married to or the person you want to get married to is down here. What do? Do you use it as an opportunity to look down on that person? Or are you willing to support this person so that this person will move up a bit so that you people will be at par? Remember, marriage is teamwork. So ask yourself, am I a demotion or a promotion? Because if you are not willing to help your partner rise from point 1 to point 2 or even point 10, then you are a demotion in that person's life. But when you are willing to help your partner to move from level 1 to level whatever, then you are a promotion. I hope I'm clear on that. The fourth question I want you to consider is this: what does marriage mean to you? This question is very tricky. It is tricky in the sense that when you are asked this question, immediately you can say something. Immediately you can even define marriage, but it goes beyond that. What does marriage mean to you as a person? When we carry that analysis on this particular question, we discover that a lot of couples don't even know what marriage means to them. The only thing they talk about is children. Now, before you get married, as a hopeful bride, ask yourself, what does marriage mean to me? Because understanding what marriage means to you will help you to ask the necessary questions. Let me give you an example. If you want to get married and what marriage means to you is for a man to take care of your expenditures, then the person you want to get married to, what marriage means to him or her is, I want to have children. Or what marriage means to him or her is children, having children, reproduction. Funny enough, some people think that that is the only thing marriage is meant for. But now, having known that marriage means different things to different people, it will now help you. If you understand it, if you know what marriage means to you, you will now find out what the person, that is when you now see the person you want to get married to, it will now help you to understand what marriage means to this other person. Because if you don't know what marriage means to you personally, it will be difficult for you to know or even ask that question. What does marriage mean to you? If you're not able to answer that question convincingly, then there is a problem. Maybe you should hold on a bit until you understand what marriage means to you. Because if you understand what marriage means to you, it will help you in the way you behave in that marriage. That is just the truth. The fifth question you need to ask yourself is this: am I willing to look beyond the weaknesses of my spouse? Listen, these questions I am asking now, or I am telling you to ask yourself, I am not claiming that I answered all these questions before I got married. I am not. Yes, because in my videos, I've always said it that some of the things that I did not do well in my own marriage, I am trying to correct them by telling you what you need to know. Personally, part of my own was lack of proper information. Nobody told me. And that's why some mistakes I made. That's why I am telling you so that you don't make that same mistake. That is just the truth. When you answer this question correctly, it will help you to maneuver things in your marriage. There are some things that when they happen in your marriage, you don't even know how to navigate. But sweetheart, I want to tell you that if you can look beyond the weaknesses of your spouse, it will help you in your marriage. So ask yourself this question. Because if you are willing to look beyond the weaknesses of your spouse, then you are ready to get married. And if you are not, then my darling, I'm afraid you are not ready, because there are things you will see in your marriage, some weaknesses you will see in marriage, and you're like, wow, what is all this? What did I get myself into? So ask yourself that question. Am I willing to look beyond the weaknesses of my spouse? Because there are definitely going to be weaknesses. So do you have the capacity to do that? Ask yourself that question. Remember, these questions are questions you answer by yourself. Nobody will answer. Then answer them honestly. Because if you don't answer them honestly, it will not help you. The sixth question you need to ask yourself is, what do I have that will improve the life of my spouse? If you want to get married, if you are planning to get married, ask yourself this question. Because when you ask yourself this question, it will help you to understand that marriage is work. Marriage is not a place where you go and sit down, put your hands akimbo, or cross your legs. Yes. Marriage is work. You have to put in the work for marriage to be successful. So if you are not ready to do that work, my darling, you better hold on a bit until you are ready. Because by the time you are getting married, you should be able to improve the life of your spouse. Yes, you should be able to do that. If you are a woman, don't sit back and say, he is the man, he is supposed to be doing. No, that time has gone. If you are doing that, if you are thinking that way, it means that you are thinking the stone age. If you want to get married, ask yourself, what do I have that will help me to improve the life of my spouse? Your spouse needs to fulfill a purpose. Are you willing to give your spouse the necessary support he or she needs in order to move to the next level? Are you willing to do that? Or are you just waiting? Are you a selfish person thinking that it is your spouse that is supposed to be doing whatever it takes to move to the next level? It is a two-way traffic. You help him, he helps you. That is what marriage is about. You don't stand aloof in marriage. So ask yourself, what do I have? What is it that you are bringing to the table that will move your spouse to the next level? If you are able to answer this question, then sweetheart, you are ready to get married. The next question you need to ask yourself is, am I financially stable? I am now shaking the table, because a lot of ladies especially will think that I am against them. I am not against anybody, because what the ladies are thinking of, the guys are also thinking of those things. Yes, financial dependence can be on the part of the man, and it can also be on the part of the woman. If you're a hopeful bride, if you're a hopeful groom, ask yourself, am I financially stable? Being financially stable is not having all the money in the world before you get married. It is not what I'm saying. But being financially stable is, even if at the end of the day you are making 10,000, let it be on record that you have something at the end of the day. That is what we are talking about. Do not sit back and relax and think that somebody's child somewhere will come and marry you, and you will be solely dependent on this person. It doesn't work like that anymore. Please ask yourself this question, and if your answer is convincing enough, then I can assure you that you are very ready for marriage. Yes, I can assure you that. The 8th question you need to ask yourself is this: what do I have that my partner will hold on to forever? Is the question, is it sounding strange or is it sounding confusing? It should not confuse you, my sweetheart. What is it that you think you have that your partner will hold on to forever? Yes, what is that? Because if there is nothing that your spouse will hold on to for the longest time, then it's a problem. What is it? Look inwards. What is it that you have? It could be a very smiley face. It could be friendliness. It could be motivation. It could be anything, but it has to be a positive one, my sweetheart. There should be something that even when you are not there, your partner misses you. Your partner thinks about you. Your partner feels that, oh, I just pray that, he or she is here, or I just pray that you are here. Ask yourself that question. These are pertinent questions that you should ask yourself by yourself. Nobody should ask you these questions, and nobody should answer these questions for you. Ask yourself that question, because answering this question will also help you to understand that if you want to get married, you must have some good stuff, like some good values. It's very important. The 9th question you need to ask yourself is, for a woman, am I going to be a wife or am I going to be a knife? I know that most of these questions are funny, but they are funny and they are making sense. If you're a woman, ask yourself, am I going to be a wife or am I going to be a knife? Let me briefly explain this. If you are going to be a wife, it means that you'll be contented with what your husband has. Then if you are going to be a knife, it means that you want to kill your husband indirectly, because you already know what he has, but it is not okay for you. So you will stress him, you will feel that you're going to, overburden him with your excessive demands. In that process, you can kill him literally. Yes, that's the truth. Then if you are a man, ask yourself, am I going to be a husband or a tie band? Yes. If you're a husband, then you know your duties and obligations as a good husband. Then if you're a tie band, you are using your position as the head of the home to tie your wife so that she will not be, useful to herself. So ask yourself these questions, because it will help you. The 10th and final question for today is, do I really understand what love means? Yes. We talk about love, but most times we don't do love. So as somebody that is hopeful to get married, ask yourself, do I really know what love is? Yes, ask yourself that question, because if you understand what love is, you will now know that in marriage, it is more about giving than receiving. In marriage, you will understand that if you love someone genuinely, there are things you don't do to this person. You will understand that in marriage, if you love someone genuinely, you will treat this person well. If you understand what this word love means, you will know that in marriage, love is more of practical than theoretical. In marriage, if you understand what love means, it means that there are things you will do in order not to hurt your partner, and so many more. So ask yourself these 10 questions and you will be glad you did. By the time you answer these questions honestly, then you will know whether as a hopeful bride you will do well or you will not do well. Now that you have these 10 questions, there could be others, but these 10 are the most important to me. That's why I mentioned them. Now in the comment section, if you think there are other questions that you need to ask yourself, because I know that this question that I mentioned now will be like a brain teaser to the smart ones. I know that my family, you are smart people, to the smart ones, to not think and find out some other questions that could be a hindrance in them getting married. Let us have your thoughts in the comment section, please. If you have anything that you need to, this time they are not the only ones. Please, let's have your thoughts in the comment section. Then please, if this video has made sense to you, give it a thumbs up. Share this video, like it, comment too, and then subscribe to this channel, because I've always said that this is a life-changing channel. And if you think there are things that we need to help you with, feel free to send us a DM. We could, book a session with you so that you'll be clarified. Moving forward, marriages should be good. Marriages should be enjoyed, not tolerated. Yes, you should enjoy your marriage, and with the right information, I can assure you that you will get that. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video.